achieving go?
Little recap, y'all. Little recap. Shout out to Madness, Universal Madness, the official sponsor of the Chief and Go, right? Shout out to them. Go Awards. Just a little something, right quick, right? There's a little something. I just want to say a little something. But gotta get that madness up. We gonna have a lot to talk about on Achieve and Go this Thursday, right? But I do want to say I feel like it was successful. It was a great success, right? Um, there was a lot going on. I want to say shout out to everybody, you know, who was a part of making it happen because without them it wouldn't be it wouldn't happen, right? So definitely shout out to the people responsible for making it happen. um Darren X, you know, Ron Moulton, uh and all the parties involved, because I don't even know all the parties, but I just know I know who flew me in, right? Stomp, the 18, and all the involvement and what they had to do, the work they had to put in to bring us these presentations, right? Um Willie, what's up, Willie? Much respect. One of the baddest drummers on the scene. And if I'm not mistaken, you were one of the posts I saw that wasn't nominated, right? I mean, and it's growing pains. It's a process, but definitely Willie Howell and Wes Watkins are the best drummers, and Damo, right? Young man Damo, some of the best drummers I'm looking at. So absolutely, Willie should have been in there. Um, but you know, it's growing pains. We gotta get it right. We gotta get it right, and I do believe that we are gonna get it right. And so I'm talking to the good men that's involved, or at least, well, I know I talked to Darren. I haven't had much communication with Ron Moulton, you know, but I know these guys are doing something and not nothing and not complaining. So that's all I'm saying. We in the building. It was a lot going on, It was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. And we're gonna talk about that Thursday. But I just wanted to come say that it was a turnout and we turned up. And I saw a lot of, I had the chance to meet people that I didn't know, right? And I heard of and probably heard of me, and we got a chance to talk and meet. You know what I mean? This Instagram joint always do the wow shit, but there's some impromptu. But I just wanted to come in because it's the Chief and Go, and I was in the building. I went live for like 42 minutes and brought everything I could bring to y'all, which was a bunch of real shit, like just like no, you know what I'm saying, no filter, just me engaging with the OGs and the legends in the lobby, right? We just because when you went into them doors of the actual ballroom or the theater, it was a lot and it was cool. And I had seats and a lot of that. I'm gonna talk about more of that Thursday. Well, I just wanted to come in and say, it turned out good. 50 years ago, go. We can complain or we can sustain. Like we can complain or we can just keep it cranking. We can move forward. Like how do we build on what we have, right? We can talk about, oh, this wasn't this and this and that, you know. And like I said, and we're gonna talk about some of that Thursday on Achievement Go Live at 8 p.m. because I they got me putting on, man, let me tell y'all what I had planned to wear. I'm gonna wear it this Thursday and I'm gonna show y'all and I'm gonna model it for y'all. My shit was gonna be so fly, and it was last minute. Oh, they saying this and this and that. So shout out to Lamont and Ty that came through, last minute. I got the call. They doing the Hugglebuck tribute. Stomp called me, said, man, who you got? Who gonna represent? You know, and we'll get into more detail of that. But that turned out great. That really turned out great. I was really happy to see the response of the crowd when they did that. But like I said, just seeing my good men, my OGs, you know, people I know and don't know, and people in passing, you know what I'm saying? Just like people that we know of each other because we all been in this culture and we've been doing it for the culture for years. So that was just a beautiful thing. And like I said, I got a chance to meet people up close and personal. And I really wanted to do this to send a special shout out to the XO band, right? In Atlanta, which I have been, privileged to play for. Um, for a while on and off. XO they gonna bring in what's necessary to get the job done. And I was coming in 2022, 2023. And we did a lot of great shows. We played with Fiend and we did a lot of great things. And I had a little break and they found Fat Dog. They found a guy that was locally available, and Stomp will come down or Quicker come down. But let's just be clear. XO has been a band in Atlanta for years, since the 90s, right? So shout out to my man, I don't want to mess this up. Norris Wooten, my man Woo, the Congo player for XO, went to Morehouse College. And so, and it's like early 90s, 91, 92, 93. So these guys had came to college to play. I mean, they came to college, right, in Atlanta. And so he had met other guys from DC and that love go-go. And they would just get together and have like, jam sessions like we do, or workouts, crank sessions, drum and Congo. You bring your drums, bring the Congos, we're gonna crank out. And they would do that. And then that kind of over time that formed into a band, which was called, which became the XO band. And that name came from, different, I can't remember all the, you know, all of the stages of what became XO band, but XO band been around since the early 90s. And a lot of people say, man, it's Go-Go in Atlanta. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know XO band. So we talking about Morehouse College, my man Norris Wooten, um, and for years they had the Funk Jazz Cafe. You had a lot of people coming through. When you're talking about what's the spot called? God damn it, I can't remember. Funk Jazz Cafe was like the group, but it was like a Tacoma station in Atlanta. It closed down when I moved because we had off script, man. But it was damn, I can't remember the name. But they've been doing things for years with national artists. Killer Mike, um, Joy, Raphael Sadiq. I mean, you name it. Janelle Monae. These people have come through the doors and rock with the XO band. So XO has been doing it for years. And when they were nominated for the out of town band, or the band outside of DC, I said y'all absolutely gonna win it. Or we gonna absolutely win it. Because I've been coming through and playing with XO off and on for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, right? So I came to the awards. I'm not gonna get into the details, but like I said, turned out great. Um, After the Hugabuck thing, you know, the '90s, they did a tribute to the older bands and Hot Cold Sweat and Mass Extinction, which was a beautiful thing. And I was, you know, blessed. God gave me the foresight or the insight to say, "Oh, let me go in here and catch that." So I caught the video of that. That was a beautiful thing. And people saying, "Why you ain't up there?" 'Cause I was the drummer, but I was behind the scenes, making some of that happen. And I'm happy it happened. I'm blessed. I feel like we're blessed. I'm glad it happened. I'm blessed. We're blessed that it happened. It's just God is good. All these years later, we wanted to do the reunion this year, and so I'm really proud of my guys and grateful that Stomp said, "Man, come on, who you got? We gonna put a segment in there for y'all." And it's 50 years of go go, which is a little more than 50 years, but we're gonna call it 50, right? We're gonna call it 50 from 76 and 78 when Bustin' Loose came out. But depending on who you ask, of course we Go-Go has been here longer, but we gonna 50 is a nice even number we gonna take. Um so just to say, man, it was great to see the response that came from, that moment with the stop, take a step back. Who do you see? It came in a little shaky too, but shout out to Chris Wright, you know what I'm saying? Stomp, Kirky, Smoke, the 18, and everybody that made that possible. You know what I mean? Because they had to do that. So appreciate that for one, like I said. And so I come in the building. There's a lot going on. I'm gonna get deep into that Thursday, but I'm in the building, and yeah, and I'm just in the lobby. Y'all can go check out the live. I went live, and I was just mixing and mingling with everybody in the lobby. That was great. It was a beautiful thing to see. To see all my people. I met people that I knew of but didn't know personally. That was beautiful. But I did happen to fall back into that ballroom to get that footage of when they was taking it back. And I got AJ doing Mandingo. I'm gonna post all that, but I just wanted to capture the HB legacy in that moment because you know, hey, that's what it is. That's what No disrespect, and we all from the same camp. Man. A lot of people think that's the Huggerbucks, but it's not. Right? That was all in one man. Right? But we from the same camp, same production, same mixing, and so that was beautiful to see them get their thing off too. I'm gonna post all that. Um, but back to XO, because a lot of people don't know XO been in Atlanta rocking for years since the early '90s, and like had major artists coming through to perform with them. Coming up on stage in Atlanta, Killer Mike, Raphael Sadiq. Uh, I mean, the names go on and on. I can't remember it all. But when I heard that they were nominated for the out of town band category or whatever that was, like, and Ricky, my man Rick from the Hugglebugs, woo yeah, little Ricky is gonna stop, take a step back. My guy Ricky Angles. Ricky Angles was responsible for a lot of our content, right? A lot of the hooks, and he was one of them guys that was very influential in that aspect. And I was, and we came up with stuff as a band, but the dance steps and a lot of that stuff, Ricky was definitely a big part of a lot of that. And he moved to Atlanta in about 2007 and found his way into XO Band, which had been there for all these years. And so when I saw that they were nominated for the out of town band, even though I'm looking at the Deal Breakers, and it's the only name I remember. No disrespect, DCAF, absolutely, in Cali. Um, different bands in different states, but XO just been doing it for the longest. I said, man, y'all absolutely gonna win, right? And so as I'm telling people, I'm coming to the awards, they're like, you nominated him. Like, not personally, but actually, I do have a, you know, I do have a little bit to do with XO recently, right? I come along recently and added my magic and my creativity, my influence, my energy to what the XO situation is, right? Um, and you got Kyrie and Chris Wright and Maestro, and we've done great things. Like, what I mean, we've done some big shows, we've done some things that may never be seen, like for Netflix, and you know, so it's a pretty big deal that's going down in the ATL with the XO band. And so when I found out they was nominated, you know, I was like, yeah, they should be, and they gonna win. I absolutely knew XO was gonna win. Shout out Stan, right? Absolutely. I absolutely knew. And so I was trying to hang around. So when they called that category, I was gonna walk up with XO because people say, "You are you in it? Are you nominated?" And this and that. And it's like, no, and it's cool. Like, I don't care. I'm for the coach. I'm here for whatever it is, right? But I was gonna be there for that. And so when I left after I saw, after they did the 90s joint, I wanted to record everybody because I think Mumbo Sauce came after our Hucklebuck joint. Do you believe in miracles? Shout out to Mumbo Sauce. Very similar to what, we did, just trying to push the culture forward in that time. And I know Pure Elegance was coming up, and all respect due to Pure Elegance, Pedro, and them stars. So, but it was just a lot going on, and I had to go. And then when as I left, I said, "Oh, they won." So it would have been cool to walk up there, like, yeah, because Ricky was telling me to. Rick Angle said, "Man, tell him, I'm still alive down in the ATL. Don't forget me, and send my love from the ATL and all that." But I'm just proud and happy for the XO band, and I just wanted to come talk about that, really, because I'm gonna get deep into it Thursday, but um, let me get to these comments. Hey, Young, if y'all can see these comments. Yeah, I got a block. Like, why do people come in and just be doing this? Jamal, hey, Slick, that's your new name, right? Slick. Why do people be coming in with these Diddy comments? My man Willie Howe, though. That was early on. Well, Willie already know, man. Much respect. Hey, Willie, dry that man. Let me tell y'all about Willie. I seen Willie. All I know is my, uh, uh, because all I know is my MC. Shout out to the Madness Connection. Y'all see the address right there. Y'all go get y'all some good stuff. We gonna create a chief and go code for y'all soon. We working on that. But I seen Willie with Fatal Attraction at G's up the street. And this years ago. But I'll never forget because I said, who was that? Who was Slim on the drums? Because Willie was cranking like, I said, man, good God, like a grown man, like some, you know. But Willie timing is impeccable and his drive is incredible. And I love what Still Familiar doing. Willie in Love, you know what I'm saying? Steve Roy. Now they got Pretty Nikki back in the building. I got stories about Pretty Nikki that go beyond subtle thoughts, and she come to the Ibex, and her cousin is my cousin baby father. We can go deep, man. Look, but hey, look, I love y'all, man. But I just wanted to come say that, and there's a lot of we gonna ban these people forever. Hey Tito, it was a great moment, man. Look, I almost ain't get in, and I said, and I was on the list, so I thought, but you know, all in all, they flew me through. You know what I'm saying? They they took me through there, took me through there. Shout out to Darren X and Ron Moulton, man. Y'all can say what y'all want, man, but man, that shit was it was a lot going on, but it's better to be a lot going on than nothing going on. Like, you know what I mean? But I do have some details I'm gonna get to on Achieving Gold Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. My guy, hey, hey, Slick, Jamal. Man, I didn't expect. I expected, but I didn't expect it. Cause Scooby was right before that. And that's a different tempo and all that. But Sunshine is one of my favorite joints. I used to go to listen joints and be like in the front, drunk as shit. Scooby, Sunshine, man, give me that shit, nigga. That's my joint. But I mean, not even a but. It's just a different type of joint. And when he walked off, and when the Godson walked off, and Ty and Lamont came up that motherfucker, stop, take a step back, even though it started slow. I don't know what the key or the patches they was using, but it came in a little slow, and it was just like, they ain't used them regular go-go hits that we use. But as it came in and it went around, when it went around like an eight, man, that joint turned up, Slim. It turned up like I didn't expect it. And I got it. Y'all can go, check the video. It turned up. It turned up. Absolutely. Absolutely, Bam. Absolutely. Dwayne Morse. Bam 640 in the house. Man, and that's what it's about, man. Yeah, we won. Amazing show. Absolutely. And that's it, man. We gotta just what's up? Hey, my man. Man, can I tell y'all about this guy right here? Look, people. You might not have thought we would connect like this from day one, or. But shout out to you, my man. You know what I mean? And we raised these girls in the right way. And it turned out that you a real one and I'm a real one. My boy Hillboy, man, look, much respect to you, my guy. Much respect. But now I just wanted to come do that, man. I wanted to say shout out to the XO band. Like I said, I feel like I'm a part of that, whether it's 20%, 27%, 39%. I was flying to Atlanta, you know, and giving XO Band my all and bringing that crank to Atlanta. And we had some things previous when I moved to Atlanta, off script and all that. But that's not even the point. The point is XO Band been at it for years. And so when they was nominated, I told them, it's no way y'all not gonna win the out of town band joint, right? There's no way. Shout out to the deal breakers and some of these people that have come along, and we appreciate it, right? Much love and respect to them. But the XO band been doing this for years, and a lot of people don't know. So I just wanted to come in and congratulate us. 'Cause like I said, I left because there was just so much going on. If I stay, I'm gonna buy too many drinks and I'm gonna just do too much, and I ain't, yeah, it just wasn't conducive to me hanging around, you know, and no disrespect to nothing, we doing what we could do. They getting it done. Shout out to Darren X. Shout out to Ron Moulton. Shout out to everybody. Capri. I saw Capri. I think she a little mad at me, but I love you, Capri. You know, but truth is truth, and I'm gonna say what need to be said. And I saw her. She looked me off, and mine too. And it's all love. But one thing about that, all I know is I'm with the originators. You hear me? The, the madness connection, nigga. I'm with the originators, and we ain't gonna get into that, but absolutely, bro. Absolutely, that's my guy from day one. Though we ain't never had no issues, man. And that's what real niggas do. Is like we understand the circumstances, and look, that's my guy. And then we grew, right? We grew, caged in the hood, right? Check out my man Facebook group, right? We on some real grown man shit. We on some growth. But I just wanted to come through and send a shout out to the XO band mainly. And then I just wanted to tell y'all go check out them Huggerbuck videos of that little moment we had because it's coming soon. We still working on it. So I broke my hand. Okay. I broke my hand. I ain't gonna get into the details of that, but I got surgery. I got an old screw right here. I cracked my hand. It's called a boxer's fracture. That's the details I'm getting to. And some shit went on, and that's just what it is. But shout out to Jose, man. The Heartbeat Congo Hour, Wiley K. I got a lot of people coming up on Achieving Gold coming soon. Man, I saw Juju, the pimp. I saw WAP. You know what I mean? I saw man, we talked to everybody. But I did a live on Instagram and I posted it on Instagram. I did live on TikTok. I posted on TikTok. I'm gonna post it everywhere. Go to my YouTube though. My YouTube is really my place where I can make a little bit of change because y'all niggas ain't sending me much cash app. Y'all niggas ain't. Hey, y'all niggas ain't sending me much cash app. Let me give you the jump though, just in case you want to. But I be on this joint cooking, but y'all don't send me much. I get a little something here and there, but I'm gonna give y'all that. But what I'm saying is, subscribe on YouTube, Go Loops TV. Because when I'm doing the podcast, we broadcasting the 7 to 8 joints at the same time. So I might get more views on Facebook than I do on YouTube, but the little ad money add up on YouTube more than Facebook. But it's not about the money, so it's okay. I might get more views on the Facebook than the YouTube. But it's okay because the YouTube gonna be there, and that shit gonna add up. Because eventually y'all gonna catch on to what the fuck is going on. It's the goddamn chief and go. I wish I had my sound effects. So I go bam. But nah, I just wanted to come in and talk about that, man. Shout out to the XO band. Like I said, I left early. And I think that award was presented after I left. Because I damn sure was gonna walk up there with XO band and accept that award. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I had a piece in that. And yeah, man, it was just a good night for the culture. And we're gonna build on this Thursday. We're gonna really build on it. I got a lot to say for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I know a lot of people, talking, but I don't even know who these people are. And y'all already know. Like, there's a lot of non factors out here. People try and get clout, you know, that ain't put in the blood, sweat, and tears I put in. But definitely, man, y'all go follow and subscribe and like and share Go Loops TV on YouTube. That's where I need y'all at, right? Go Loops TV on YouTube is the spot that helps me the most. But however you getting it, we cool. I'm cool with it because it's not about none of that. It's about, what I mean? The information is about the love, is about the knowledge. Hey, Ed, man, I don't want to tell that story because that could be dangerous for me, but ah, it was hollow. It was a wild night. I'm gonna say that. Well, Ricky in Atlanta, Joey, we don't know. I don't know. I mean, Joey, we working on all that. I'm working on a documentary too. Where everybody y'all gonna see what's been going on. The documentary is gonna show from 90. It's gonna show from the beginning, but it's gonna show what's going on because in the interim of what's us trying to come back multiple times. I got footage of everything. I got testimonials of why and why nots and red tape and Charlie Fenwick's, and it's coming. That's really what I'm working on too, and I'm working on. I got a lot of clothes, even though all I know is my hey, all I know is my MCs. Let me tell y'all about this madness gear though, Slim. I got, I mean, because we working together. Shout out to my man Rick in the bag, you know, and Ed, like, yeah, hey, bro, the quality of this madness, and I know it costs, but the quality of the shit is just impeccable, bro. And because I make my own stuff too, and this would be like I be trying. Oh my goodness, when I put this shit on, nigga, I feel like a superhero. And like I said, I'm just so happy that we working together because we talking about the originators, and I feel like I'm an originator, even though I'm a late originator, but I come from the cloth of that. Shout out to Little Benny and then people. This is my blood, bro. But and that's a long story. But anyway, make sure y'all lock in hblegacy.hblegacy95.com, gogoloops.net. Y'all can go get all the go samples and this and that, and further hip hop samples and beats and one hits and drums and all that chiefism.com. You know what I mean? I got a lot of things working. I'm working on it all, but I'm so excited about working with the Madness Connection because it don't get no realer than that. But what you say? Yeah, but we working on Joey, you know. But like I said in the doc, you will see a lot of what's going on with Joey and Charlie and the reasons why it hasn't happened yet. Because a lot of people say, "Man, what y'all doing?" But I'm working on it. Yeah, we working on it. Um, so expect something in the first quarter of 2026, right? That's still gonna be the 30-year reunion. Yeah, we've been talking about the doc, but I'm a one man army, and you know, I got a lot on my shoulders. I got a lot to do. If you want to help me, Ed, you know what I'm talking about? If you can help me, then come on through. But anyway, shout out to the XO band. I told them that they was gonna win. I left early. Like I said, I was gonna go up there and be like, thank you. I want to thank you everybody for I was gonna come over there and do the acceptance speech, and I was probably gonna do the running man, and I might have did the moonwalk, and I might have did a breakdance move and a backflip off the stage. I might have died, and that would have been a whole news story. But nah, I did. I just knew that they was a shoe in for that one. So proud of them, happy for that, proud of us because I was part of that. I think, and Calvary and Chris and Maestro because we've been all collaborating on the EXO situation in Atlanta, you know, for the last few years. So y'all make sure if y'all in Atlanta, you know what I mean, look up the EXO band. Look up the EXO band because they're gonna be playing. You know what I'm saying? They do a couple spots a month. You know what I'm saying? A few spots a month. They usually gonna be somewhere. My man Ricky Angles and it's the grown and sexy. They gonna give you what you want in Atlanta, right? So if you're in Atlanta for whatever reason, y'all look them up because I've been there and people don't be knowing. I be out front of the joint. They be like, "Who is this?" And everybody be speculating. Oh, EXO, that's what. And they be like, a lot of people don't know. That's the thing. So that's why I wanted to come say, y'all need to know about EXO. But the voters knew, and they won that. And I had to leave early. But I wanted to come in and say congratulations, much love to the XO band, and not more importantly, but other than that, that little Hugabug moment was great. Okay, because I love Scooby and Sunshine. It was Mass Extinction, I think. Before that, they was doing this whole medley. But when they went to that stop, take a step back, them people turned up, and that was everything. And I'm gone. That was all it was about. That was all it was about, bro. That was a great moment. And I'm out of here. Y'all gotta tune in Thursday at 8 to hear, you know, you know, my you know, to get in, we're gonna get into deeper into the mind of the chiefisms and what I saw and what I think and what could be better. You know what I mean? I see you, Ed. My man Ed Flavors. Yeah. I see you, bro. Yeah. Hey Ed, okay, see, god damn it. I was trying not to read your comment. Ed, let's be clear. These nominations, this is not about a year. It's about, you know, our culture is different from everything, and we growing, and all eyes on us, right? Let's just be clear. Everybody, man, it's come to this time that we are, you know, we are. They seeing who we are, right? And I've been telling people all this for years. People say, "No, it would never be this. Go, bend around." Nah, 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 nah." I'm like, I'm telling you, it's gonna come to a time because history works in cycles. That it's gonna be a time where people say, "Oh," and then our shit gonna matter more than anything. So, I think that a lot of this shit be deeper than the year, right? People are looking at names they known for a while, like Stomp been doing it for years, this drummer, Love Congo player been doing it for years, Mickey been doing it for years, Mighty Mo been doing it for years, Backyard been doing it for years. So you kind of just if them nominations came to you, right? If you actually got that, you're gonna nominate the people. Even how I voted, I ain't gonna lie. I voted for stuff, and I be around, so I'm hip. But I voted for what I thought maybe this year, or maybe I just thought deserved it, right? So if it was the producer, like I might have just voted for who I thought deserved it over the years, but it wasn't just this year. So like I said, I talked to Darren. Me and Darren X talk, and we gonna get together and we gonna really lock in and figure out the criteria and what makes this and that. But a lot of people that's nominating these people not thinking it wasn't about 2025, right? It's about familiarity. I know Stomp, I know Blue Eye, I know Buggy, I know Sauce, I know Mickey, and so we gonna try to just really lock into how we set these criterias, how we base it on the year, and then it's up to these musicians and producers and everybody to really actually do something in that year. And let me tell y'all, next year, look at you. I will be in multiple categories. And I'm not mad, like, because the Achievement Go just started late. And that's just something I'm just freestyling. That's the Jerry Sequoia I used to do. I will be in multiple categories because I mean I've been doing all this for multiple years, but y'all gonna know, man. Next year I'm gonna be in multiple categories. Trust me. Okay, so but just we got to figure out how do we lock it into that year. How we basing these votes on the year at hand, and that's important too. But yeah, I mean, and Darren invited me to come, add my 2 cents and to make it better, and whatever it takes, because a lot of people complain, but from what I hear, that meetings have been called. People have been called to come in and and be a part of these procedures, you know, to figure out, but people don't show up. So I got a great rapport with Darren X. He just feels like a real guy, and I'm seeing what Ron and everybody what they doing in the museum with the youngins, and with Wink, but Bug, like we, ha- if you got the people, if you got the OGs and the triple OGs of the culture dealing with this guy, he he can't be but so bad. You know, we all got our things. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. We're gonna get into more of that Thursday. Man, look, you gotta hit me in my messages, or I'm gonna hit you, Ed. We're gonna do that. Choreography, right? Very important. Very important. And I know, because we were supposed to be the new edition of Go Go. And Ricky Angles, like I said, was responsible for a lot of those routines we was doing. It wasn't just steps, you know. A lot of bands just do this. And let's just be clear, a lot of the stages we playing on are small. We in lounges and restaurants now. That wasn't our MO back in the day. We was at joint, we was at dance halls, right? Even and sometimes the stage would be smaller, but we was doing routines. It ain't no right to the left shit. No, we was doing routines. We was a really abandoned show, and we gonna get into that, and we gonna get into drinks on stage, and we gonna get into all that. I'm gone. That's what we doing. Man, I done gave y'all 45 minutes, but I love y'all. Not that I gave y'all like that, not like that, but I just wanted to come in and say shout out to the XO band. Shout out to everybody that made the Go Go Awards happen. 50 years of Go Go, right? How about that, y'all? And all eyes is on us, right? I ain't see Dougie and all them and the whole situation because I left after after I saw what I needed to see. But much love, and we gonna tap in Thursday. Now we gonna tap in Thursday at 8, y'all. Chief and go. Chief Dizzle for shizzle for sheezy for show. Love y'all, man. Love the culture, man. I do this for the culture. I can't get enough. This is what I am, man. It ain't nothing more, nothing less. See y'all Thursday at 8. Make sure y'all subscribe. Gogo Loops TV. I think it's at Gogo Loops though, if you just search it on YouTube. But yeah, subscribe, man. Subscribe. The best place to watch it on is YouTube, if y'all will. If you can watch it on YouTube, because that's the best place for me. That benefits me the most. And I love y'all, man. I really do. Y'all take care of yourself. Spread love, one love. Go loops. Keep it cranking for the culture. A little impromptu, but you know what I'm saying. We was in here for a minute, and it's always good to have this dialogue. Absolutely, one love. I was looking for Joey and Chief. Is that me, Chief? Were you at sucker? Hey, look, we working on that. I don't know. I don't know, man. If you know, w- ADB. But whatever the case, this HB reunion is going to be worth the. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be the bang. Is going to be worth the buck. You know what I'm saying? We going to bring it. And that's all I got to say. I can't promise the world. You know what I mean? But I'm doing my best. We're doing our best. You know what I mean? Stay tuned. Be patient with us. It's a lot. It's a lot. But, like I said, when you see this documentary, you're going to know. Much love, brother. Much love. Much love. It's coming, though, y'all. Love y'all, man. I really do.
Chief and go.